Power of the words, I can, I am, I will. Words matter, and these words support a growth mindset, where the process is as much the focus as is the outcome. Words which can help us strive beyond our comfort zones and push us through adversity as we seek opportunities and look to reach our full potentials. We can achieve so much more than we realize through grit, perseverance, and the belief that I can. I welcome you to our Legendary Women of Brainerd Public Schools 2021 virtual induction ceremony, raising up the lives of the remarkable women we honor today. As chair of the Legendary Women of Brainerd Public Schools Organizing Committee, part of Brainerd Public Schools Archives, I want to share with you how the words, I can, I am, I will, are a part of our 9 women graduates from Brainerd Public Schools, and how our honorees are examples of the extraordinary power behind these words. 9 women who have put these transformative words into action as they have encouraged, inspired, and empowered countless lives. On this day of celebration, sadly, 3 of our inductees, Bernice Bunny Leckband Humphrey Olsen, Catherine Nolan Benson, and Donna Winkelmann Bjorklund Whalen, are no longer with us. However, in memory and in spirit, they are here. In addition to honoring Bunny, Catherine, and Donna, we also honor Linda Olsen Engel, Christy Martinson Ferguson, Ruth Henderson Geminder, Pamela Siegel Thompson, Amy Ward Aho, and Jill Carlson Casper. Our Legendary Women Class of 2021 inductees come from diverse life backgrounds and experiences. Each has a unique story, but what our legendary women hold in common is how they have demonstrated the power of I can, I am, I will. Through strong core values, fearless work ethics, and positive forward-thinking attitudes, especially when struggles and obstacles have challenged them, these honorees have redefined boundaries, built leadership skills, and proven a growth mindset is far more powerful than a fixed mindset. Their actions of resiliency, gratitude, service to others, and humility have had ripple effects, empowering women and men of all ages. Their exceptional stories, which you are about to see and hear, can help each of us focus on a positive outlook, do good for others, and understand the power of the words, I can, I am, I will. The impact, however, of these legendary women is especially telling on the young women and little girls in our world, who need to see female role models in varied, challenging endeavors and professions without limitations. Along with our legendary women's stories and our own guidance and support, all young women and little girls can dream big, believe in and be themselves, and pursue the passion and potential lying within each of them. The powerful words, if she can see her, she can be her, can come to life as their journeys unfold. The Legendary Women of Brainerd Public Schools Organizing Committee and Brainerd Public Schools Archives are deeply honored to share with you small portions of the unique and powerful stories of these 9 inspirational women, our Legendary Women of Brainerd Public Schools Class of 2021. Their journeys will inspire and empower each of you. And in each legendary woman's story, you will experience the transformational power of the words, I can, I am, I will. Let the storytelling begin. Ruth Henderson Geminder was a Brainerd Public Schools Board of Education member from 1992 through 2011. As a board member, Ruthie, as she is commonly known, was selected the 2004 Minnesota Outstanding School Board member and keynoted a national conference on school districts, public health, and medical collaboration. Whatever she does, most of which is not generally known to the public, Ruthie is a presence. She has made intricate costumes for charitable causes for years, perhaps her public signature of today. But years ago, she designed and won awards for eye-catching use of colors and materials on Brainerd High School homecoming parade floats. Graduating with Brainerd High School honors, Ruthie also graduated with honors from the University of Minnesota 3 years later in dietetics. After dietitian work at the U of M Masonic Cancer Center and St. Paul School District, she became a Crow Wing County Women, Infants, and Children leader and public health administrator, a Women, Infants, and Children grant writer, and co-owner of the Gull Lake Resort. She also actively served on the Crow Wing County Child Protection Team, Community Action Board, St. Joseph's Home Care Board, Family Services Collaborative Board, National Joints Power Board, Happy Dancing Turtle Board, Brainerd Lakes Area Community Foundation Board, and Women's Fund Board. She has been publicly noted for her contributions: Outstanding Women, Infants, and Children Director, Sertoma Service to Mankind Award, Athena Award, Citizen of the Year, Rotarian of the Year, and Women Making Waves Women's Fund Award. Ruthie is proudest of her volunteer work in initiating a Minnesota School Board Association award-winning literacy promotion program for Brainerd school children implemented through Rotary. Ruthie's costuming work continues for local nonprofit fundraising purposes, but it is little known that sales of her freely made costumes have raised almost $300,000 for charity. Jill Carlson Casper, omnipresent in the world of female empowerment in the Brainerd Lakes area, moves within Minnesota's credit union and business worlds and beyond, including leadership roles in her hometown philanthropic community. All of this started in Brainerd Public Schools. Not many high school students serve on key committees of the school district, providing her with her education, but Jill did. The Community Education Advisory Council, the first word, community, epitomizing what Jill's professional and volunteer lives have been about. After graduation from Brainerd High School, Jill attended St. Cloud State University, started a family, and finished a degree in organizational behavior at St. Scholastica College via a satellite program at Central Lakes College, 18 years after leaving Brainerd High School. Within 2 more years, Jill had a master's in management and leadership from Concordia University, St. Paul. Now, the vice president of, predictably, training and community relations for Mid-Minnesota Federal Credit Union, Jill is responsible for, among other things, community outreach. Reaching further, Jill is soon to be chair of the Brainerd Lakes Area Chamber of Commerce. While president of the Brainerd Noon Rotary Club, Rotary developed a mentoring program for high school students with low GPAs. Jill has also been a board member and president of the Brainerd Public Schools Foundation, chair of the Brainerd Women's Fund, president of the Crossing Arts Alliance, board member of the Women's Leadership Fund, member of a development team of the Minnesota Credit Union Network, and a member of its Scholarship Advisory Council. Appropriately, Jill is a deserving recipient of the Sertoma Service to Mankind Award. Pamela Siegel Thompson is a leader within the business and philanthropic communities of central Minnesota and is a child of rural Crow Wing County, comfortable with movers and shakers and the stock car racers she won trophies competing against. In symphonic band, Pam played the oboe and English horn, and also played them with the Heartland Symphony Orchestra and Mid-Minnesota Youth Symphony. She was a fast-pitch softball player, won a Minnesota State High School League debate championship, and graduated with honors. Pam was equally diversified at St. Cloud State University, becoming a certified public accountant, an economic development finance professional, and a resource development specialist. At Central Lakes College, Pam has led the resource development and the college foundation, instructed in accounting, income tax preparation, and small business management, and been a Central Lakes College Small Business Development Center consultant. She has been a board member of the Brainerd Lakes Area Community Foundation, Brainerd Public Schools Foundation, Kinship Partners, Zion Lutheran Church, and Crossing Arts Alliance. She is the chief financial officer of a mid-size business, a tax preparer and accountant, and owned her own training and consulting corporation. Pam is a charter member of a series of trainings for at-risk Brainerd Lakes area women, and early on was on the cutting edge for female advancement while in junior high when she addressed the school board advocating to be allowed to take boys-only shop classes. And she won. In college, she chose male-dominated accounting and succeeded. While in school, she unloaded and washed delivery trucks at night, the first woman to do so in that shop. Pam has always proceeded with grit and determination, advocating to others to use her words to support and empower women and our community. And she has victoriously raced stock cars. Donna Winkelmann Bjorklund Whalen left Brainerd to further her education and refine her professional skills, but returned twice to teach elementary education and special education, and then to be the advanced guard of female empowerment in public education administration. Her watch extended from teaching at her own grade school, Whittier Elementary, to administering the district's progressive middle school, Forest View. Donna came from a family of leaders, and she showed those same skills while in high school, among other things, captaining the girls' tennis team, serving in student government, on the Foreign Student Committee, an editor of the student newspaper, and leading a YMCA youth group. Then, years later, serving as an adult on the Y's board of directors. When Donna graduated from Bemidji State with her education degree, she began teaching at Whittier, but then taught up north, then down south, both in Minnesota, before settling permanently in the Brainerd-Baxter area, beginning with special education at the high school she had graduated from 16 years earlier. After earning her Master's of Arts in School Administration from St. Cloud State University, and while at St. Cloud State University, developed a cohort program that allowed paraprofessionals to become special education teachers. Donna became Dean of Students, then Assistant Principal at Brainerd High School. Her last professional assignment was as principal of Forest View Middle School, at the time the largest student body within the approximately 6,000 student enrollment of Brainerd Public Schools. Donna was most proud of breaking gender barriers in public school administration. In retirement, Donna's focus was on her family, and much like those in need of special care earlier in her professional life, Donna became and was the principal caregiver for her husband in the last years of his struggle against ALS. Amy Ward Aho graduated from Brainerd Public Schools with the word leader written all over her, something that has continued through the ensuing almost 30 years, including her work today as an educator within Brainerd Public Schools, a leader in her profession, and a committed citizen. While in high school, Amy captained the fast-pitch softball team, was a student government leader, and graduated with honors. Her association with athletics has continued. She was a fast-pitch coach for her younger sister, coached one of her own daughters, and continues to coach young women in that Brainerd Public Schools program today. And coaching is, indeed, teaching. Formal education led Amy first to the Brainerd Community College, from which she graduated with high academic honors, then to a Bachelor of Science in Communication Sciences and Disorders from St. Cloud State University, and a Master of Science in the same subject from the University of North Dakota. Subsequently, Amy has been a fellow in the University of Minnesota Hubert Humphrey School of Public Policy, including work in Washington, D.C., and co-authoring a Humphrey School Civility Project. Amy's professional expertise is as a speech-language pathologist. She has worked in the Anoka-Hennepin School District, hospitals, nursing homes, private clinics, and educational settings, including servicing stroke and traumatic brain-injured clients. Her long-term service within Brainerd Public Schools as a speech-language pathologist positively impacts students and families in early childhood, elementary, secondary, and post-secondary programs. In addition to being an advocate for her students, families, and coworkers, especially the disadvantaged, Amy has served in several leadership positions with Education Minnesota, including on the State Board of Education Minnesota, and similarly within the Minnesota Speech Language Hearing Association. Bernice Bunny Leckband Humphrey Olsen was part of a leading edge of women moving to professions that were not traditionally accessible to women high school graduates in the first 75 years of education in Brainerd. Born in Hutchinson, Minnesota, Bunny moved to Michigan as a young child, then came to Brainerd as a sophomore in high school. Although arriving late to Brainerd schools, she immediately fit in and was a creatively active student. Bunny came to know and love the land and waters of central Minnesota, and eventually knowing it, painted and protected it. She also painted a wide range of subjects, and on each of her paintings, a signature bunny was included. Bunny worked at her parents' Mississippi River Snug Harbor Pancake House, married and raised a family, working outside the home, including as a window dresser at the Brainerd J.C. Penney store. Never formally trained but for occasional workshops, Bunny began to paint in an increasingly professional way, maintaining a studio on the Mississippi. In time, an introspective oil landscape was a winner, featured for a month in the annual Northwest Paper Company calendar. With that painting, Bunny became a recognized and popular professional artist, mostly in oils, with shows and gallery representation beyond her unique gallery in her home on an island in the Mississippi River. She described her painting as a way of life. Bunny painted her oils mostly with a knife, but also painted in watercolors and sometimes with her fingers. She taught classes and was so widely acknowledged for her artistic prowess that her paintings, numbering in the thousands, are in collections across the U.S., in Europe, South Africa, and Australia. Reflecting her love of the land, Bunny served on the Crow Wing County Soil and Water Conservation Board for 8 years and was recognized by the local chapter of the National Secretaries Association as the 1975 Brainerd Woman of the Year. Linda Olsen Engel began working her school years accompanied by school activity commitments and non-school athletic experiences, increasing her resolve to do well for the next generation of women. Linda was engaged in Future Teachers of America, Thespians, band, newspaper, and the Foreign Student Association. Instead of then prohibited competitive sports, she was active in student government, band leadership, girls' state, competitive speech, the American Legion competitive drill team, and leading roles in significant high school and community theater productions, all teaching the commitment of leaders within teams. As an honor graduate, Linda still worked in her parents' laundry business and as a long-distance telephone operator, learning a lifelong skill of how to link people together. She attributes many of her communication skills to Andre Lamore, a beloved teacher and friend. At St. Cloud State University, Linda enrolled in speech science pathology and audiology and earned a double major, then a master's in communication disorders and psychology. Her education was followed by work as a K through 12 speech-language pathologist in Metro, Minnesota and Brainerd, as a coordinator, and as a teacher of English as a second language. Linda has been a professional speaker and is a recipient of a Minnesota Arts Education Leadership Award for Community Arts Advocate. She has been active as an election judge, in Alzheimer's support groups, and as a public advocate for awareness of Lewy body dementia. Never far from history or the arts, Linda also sits on history and arts committees in her greater community. Linda has long maintained a second home, an as good as Canadian border home, on border waters, requiring her to adapt to something of a frontier lifestyle for parts of each year. And, best of all, Linda knows how to make lefse. Christy Martinson Ferguson was always an academic leader. Now Dr. Ferguson, she also was an outstanding athlete in an era of denied interscholastic female athletics. Like so many other women, Christy's willingness to engage and to succeed in the challenges of education served her well. Christy was the sports editor of the student newspaper and wrote an award-winning series about the new Brainerd High School, then on the drawing boards, and which opened in 1968. She was a multi-engaged student as a leading band student, service on the Foreign Student Committee, participation in the Girls Athletic Association, and German Club. She taught swimming lessons to children with special needs during a free hour from school, returning to school with frozen hair dripping ice water down her back during geometry. Christy was an honor graduate with distinction, then graduated from Concordia College, moved on to the University of Michigan for a master's degree in social work and a PhD in medical school education. She taught medical school education at the University of Iowa, a full professor in the College of Public Health and the Department of Internal Medicine, and having created an Iowa master's program in medical school education. Christy wrote innumerable professional journal articles and papers, tending to relate to improving medical school education and public health through her long Iowa career. A leading golf magazine also published a deeply moving story about Christy's love of golf, her father, and her father's putter. Teaching is a common thread running through Christy's life, from Sunday school to a leading U.S. school of medicine. In retirement, Christy continues to teach, voluntarily engaged in seminary education and service as chair of the board of directors of the Lutheran School of Theology, Chicago, one of America's great seminaries. Catherine Nolan Benson was a top-level executive involved in all aspects of high-end software development, network analysis, and operations. On December 31, 2014, all of that changed when she was diagnosed as having stage 4 non-small cell lung cancer. Incurable. A less than 5% survival rate after 5 years. There had been no symptoms. Catherine was a non-smoker in excellent condition, but she was rapidly dying. With a husband and 4 children, barely 40 years old, she went on the attack for others. In her remaining 6+ years, Catherine was a nationally known advocate of lung cancer research and early screenings, including, but by no means limited to, high-profile, full funding for lung cancer research through the National Institute of Health and the Department of Defense Health Research. The result was millions of new research dollars and assistance for others in eliminating stigmas behind lung cancer. Catherine was very public about her condition, which, through much of the time she knew she had lung cancer, gave no indication by appearance that she was seriously ill. Catherine appeared in public service announcements, YouTube presentations, and at conferences, and made innumerable public appearances before groups large and small, including after she had lost all of her hair. Catherine was part of a long line of very strong women, extending back at least 100 years, and she demonstrated that strength as a champion of lung cancer survivors, sufferers, and their families. She worked alongside federal lawmakers to draft Catherine's Lung Cancer Early Detection Act of 2020, which eventually will become law. When it finally passes, Catherine's law will expand early screenings for lung cancer. And in death, Catherine kept on giving. She donated her body to the Mayo Clinic for lung cancer research to assist future lung cancer patients. And now here with congratulatory remarks for the 2021 class of the legendary women of Brainerd Public Schools is the Superintendent of Brainerd Public Schools, Lane Larson.
Thank you. I have a favorite quote that rests in my school district office, framed for all to read. It's from a song by recording artist Taboo. The saying explains, "'Cause I'm a warrior, I'm a champion, I'm a fighter, and I am not giving in." The strong, smart, and courageous women recognized today as the 2021 class of legendary women of Brainerd Public Schools are truly inspirational leaders who exemplify what it means to be a Brainerd warrior. As your leader, I'm humbled to walk the halls of Brainerd Public Schools, where as a staff member or student, Each of these women has left a mark on our district's past, its present, and our future. These legendary women of Brainerd Public Schools demonstrate the importance of providing an equitable education for all, while leaving their school home better than it was when they arrived. American singer and songwriter Dolly Parton, another legendary woman who has had a profound impact on the world around her, once said, "If your actions create a legacy that will inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, and to become more, then you are an excellent leader." By this definition, each of the legendary women of Brainerd Public Schools embodies, influences, and role models the very best leadership which future graduates can strive to emulate. It's in their footsteps that I endeavor to model their excellence in leadership in my role as the first female superintendent of Brainerd Public Schools and the first female in my immediate family to graduate from college. Like many of our legendary women, I know the challenge of blazing a trail no woman has trod before. What has comforted me in the hard, lonely moments of that journey has been the certain knowledge that the trail will be easier to travel for the women who have come after me, and that there is nothing that can stop our daughters and our sons from attaining their hopes and dreams. My passion as your leader and superintendent of schools is that every person I interact with, from youngest to oldest, regardless of gender or ethnicity, will know that their dreams can come true as a result of the education they received at Brainerd Public Schools. This is where we put students first while pursuing educational excellence for all. I want each and every student to be inspired by these extraordinary legendary women who we are all so proud of and so proud to call Brainerd Warriors. These trailblazers intentionally build a culture of community, authenticity, compassion, equity, and empowerment. Together, we can learn and do great things while continually challenging ourselves to grow, to change, to be courageous, and to evolve. Congratulations, thank you, and my best wishes to all.